When I first came across the concept of consumption, I understood it to mean buying things such as daily necessaries, meal out with family and friends, and the occasional purchase of non-essential items. Beyond that, I didn't realize that consumption actually had a much broader meaning. However, as I began to study media and communication, I gradually realized that consumption permeates every aspect of my life. It extends beyond what I buy to include what I watch online, the article and the content I have read, the music I have listened to, and even a photo or a meme I have shared with others. It shaped my connection with people, how I express myself, and how I integrate into a group. As a media studies student, my daily life is closely linked to consuming media, as well as attending classes, completing assignments, working on filming and editing projects. I regularly participate in activities organized by my church community and attend dodgeball training sessions. As someone who loves sharing life updates, I frequently post online or engage with other posts. All of this activity involves some degrees of consumption, whether for the purpose of gaining knowledge, enjoying entertainment, or maintaining relationship. This reflection explores the role of consumption in my daily life, considering how academic theories can help me to understand its function and significance. To explore this, I will look at my consumption habits from different angles, such as interpersonal relationship, living environments, and critical perspective. Shopping is an essential part of my daily life and one of the most obvious examples of my participation in consumers. Often, my reason for shopping extends beyond merely purchasing necessities. Shopping serves as a form of relaxation, engagement with broader consumer culture. Whether I'm shopping in mall or online, it is not just the product themselves that I consume, but also the atmosphere, the visual experience, and the sensory emotion. Place to shop, whether mall or supermarket, are now often designed to be comfortable and aesthetically pleasing. Attractive display draw people into the atmosphere, transforming shopping into a leisure activity and making consumption more enjoyable. For example, I love buying stylish basketball shoes, not only because they make me play dodgeball more comfortably, but also because I enjoy admiring them. Moreover, leisure consumption is also related to digitalization. Browsing online store, planning trips based on influencer recommendation, and checking out product searches online are all forms of consumption. My clicks, searches, and preferences are recorded by platforms which use my digital footprint to target me with ads. Leisure consumption not only made life easier but also creates value for businesses. Leisure shopping gives me a sense of control and pleasure. When I purchase items or simply browse, these activities temporarily lift my worries and allow me to imagine how owning this thing might make me feel. Of course, I understand that embracing this advertisement and trends relax me while also amplifying me desire to some extent, desire that are constrained by reality. As a student, learning is the core of my daily life. At first though, learning appears to be simply absorbing knowledge from textbook, attending lectures, and completing assignments. Nevertheless, when viewed from other angles, learning is also a form of consumption. In classroom, through textbook and by interacting with teacher and classmates, I absorb different ideas and perspectives. This is a type of consumption based on knowledge and theory. When I do my homework, I can further clarify this process by drawing on multiple resources, including academic tests and media sources. I digest these materials by reading them, and then reshape them into something new through my own writing. To use a more practical example, if I were a baking student gathering ingredients, I could create unique dessert by building on the original recipe with my own ideas. Although learning does not resemble shopping in a mall or browsing goods in a store, it is still a form of consumption. Beyond my studies, spending still continues. My favorite activity in my spare time is dodgeball. On the surface, this might not seem like a form of consumption, but because of this sport, my team and I watch dodgeball highlight on YouTube, follow awesome players on Instagram, share and discuss the sport with friends. The sport also involves buying sportwear and accessories. My biggest expense is buying dodgeball jersey designed by different clubs. These jerseys have become a symbol of belonging to the dodgeball community. By purchasing and sharing media, I strengthen my bonds with my teammates and a sense of shared identity developed among us. Reflecting on my daily routine of studying, playing dodgeball, shopping, and using social media, I realized that consumption is not always about money. More often, it is about time, attention, and meaning. Consumption enabled me to learn, connect with others, express myself, and find a sense of belonging. I know that consumption is not completely free. Often, I'm limited by trends and my financial situation. Even when I'm not actively chasing the latest trends, they are hard to avoid. This makes me feel like I have to buy something, even when I cannot afford it. So consumption impacts my daily life. Whatever I buy or use shape my habits and behavior, and can even influence my future goal. Studying consumption academically has helped me to understand my everyday practice from a new perspective. I now see every practice that previously appeared normal, ordinary routine of studying, shopping, playing sport, or checking social media as sophisticated activity embedded within culture meaning, social structure, and economic system. Theories of consumption provide me with language to make sense of my everyday experience. Research on students and consumer provide a different perspective on my position in society. Chapter 2 of Shopping, Tourist, Retail and Leisure by Timothy 2005 indicate that shopping involves more than just the purchase of goods. It can also be a form of entertainment, leisure, and even labor. As well as being an enjoyable activity, shopping also serves as a means of expressing identity and facilitating social interaction. At the same time, it demands effort and requires decision-making and planning, much like work. Different types of shoppers have also been identified with different motives for shopping. Some shop for efficiency, others for social interaction, and some even shop radically out of necessity. Reading Timothy helped me realize that shopping behavior extends beyond mere practicality. For example, when I go shopping with friends or family, the experience takes on a new dimension. It becomes leisure shopping, spending time together, enjoying food, and taking photographs. Furthermore, when I spend time online researching camera equipment and editing software for photography and video editing, the process of gathering information and making decisions feels like work. Thus, consumption itself becomes more like a label. This approach to consumption revealed how my purchasing choices are connected with my identity and interests, while also being shaped by broader consumer culture. This heightened always helped me to discern whether I'm shopping purely for enjoyment in certain situations or whether I can accurately recognize my motivation, ensuring that my purchases are both suitable and practical, both of which influence my daily life. I am also defined as a student consumer within the university system of any era. Paying tuition fee, choosing modules, and making use of campus resources all feel like transaction, much like buying goods. However, research by Gupta, Brooks, and Abraham 2023 indicate that many European students resist being labeled as consumer. They view education as a right, not something to be bought and sold. I am in agreement with them. Although tuition fee and deadline can sometimes create the impression of transaction, education is fundamental about personal growth. It fosters responsibility, competence, equipping students to contribute to society and apply their skill in their future career. Like them, I refuse to see a degree as simply a means of securing employment. Education should have deeper intrinsic value. The current wave of neoliberalism have transformed education from the mere transmission of knowledge into a defined market. Every institution now competes for a talent student, treating them as consumer and using learning experience and achievement to boost enrollment numbers. Whether I agree with this approach or not, we are all implicitly treated as consumer. What I frequently observe in university launching programs with high employment rates and trendy subjects to attract students, much like supermarket updating their bestseller each season, rather than focusing purely on academic development and society need. Besides that, consumption has reshaped my understanding of another concept. In the era of digital culture, users are both producer and consumer. While I regularly consume content on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, when I upload photos and share experience, I also become a content creator. Liking, commenting on, or reposting content on social platforms can help users generate engagement, thereby enabling the platform to function. All data, whether it is online shopping record or browsing history, is collected and analyzed. This example proves that my consumption is not merely a personal act, but is linked to a large production system. Overall, academic study has helped me to understand my everyday practice for what they are. They are sophisticated activity embedded within culture meaning, social structure, and economic system. Consumption is never neutral. It is about identity, community, and inequality. By applying theories and research, shopping, leisure studying, and using social media are not only daily habits, but also reflect how I am influenced within this consumer-driven society, and how I sometimes attempt to break free from this influence. So what does consumption mean to me? It is everywhere. It is in my study, my hobbies, my belief, my free times. It is in the way I'm a student, a teammate, a youth leader, a Facebook user. How can academic research about consumption help me understand this better? It helped me to see beyond the surface. Concepts such as culture capital, consumption, and consumer culture help me understand the connection between my choice, my identity, and inequality. Research into students as consumer has shown me I'm not the only one who resists the consumer label. In a word, consumption is more than going to shop or browsing online. It is a lens through which how I live, learn, and relate to others is constructed. When I critically reflect on my consumption practice, I am not a passive consumer anymore. I am an active participant who help construct meaning, community, and culture. And in turn, I am also being constructed by this system of power.